by the courage of the men and women of the office, courage to be committed public servants working to ensure that all Filipinos experience government regardless of their proximity to the capital. Our 2026 budget proposal builds on the outcomes of the previous year, addressing the significant budget reduction we faced while envisioning a path forward through fiscal discipline and strategic partnerships. I will now proceed to discuss the highlights of the 2026 proposed budget of the Office of the Vice President. Good morning, everyone. Presenting the highlights and salient features of the OVP budget under fiscal year 2026 National Expenditure Program, or the NEP. The Department of Budget and Management has recommended a budget of 902,895,000 for fiscal year 2026 vis-a-vis the 942,038,000 of the proposal of the Office of the Vice President. The amount recommended is 21.33 higher than the fiscal year 2025 budget as appropriated. The proposed budget will cover personal services or PS, maintenance and operating expenses or MOOE, and capital outlay. For the PS, the recommended budget for fiscal year 2026 is 212,538,000, which is 23.54% of the total budget. The amount is higher by 12.14% than the fiscal year 2025 PS level. Personal services cover salaries, benefits, and allowances of 162 filled positions. It also includes the special duty allowance for military and uniformed personnel and salary for non-permanent positions. The total proposed PS budget, including retirement and life insurance premiums, or RLIP, is 212,538,000. For the MOOE, the recommended budget is 673,753,000, which is 74.62% of the total budget. The amount is based on the DBM Tier 1 MOOE level of 654,527,000, plus additional Tier 2 requests of 19,226,000 19,226,000 for the information and communication technology or ICT related expenses in line with the DICT endorsed Information Systems Strategic Plan or ISSP. The MOOE includes the allocations of the following: supplies and materials, as well as financial assistance subsidies, which are intended for goods and grants that will be directly received by the OVP target beneficiaries or clients, travel and representation expenses to support the operational needs of the OVP in implementing its programs and projects, including its ceremonial and executive functions, and for the provisions of professional services and rent lease expenses to cover the service fees of contract of service personnel, IT-related consultancy services as per the ISSP, and the operational needs of OVP central and satellite offices. As for the capital outlay, the total budget is 1.84% of the total recommended budget, or equivalent to 16.6 million. The recommended capital outlay covers the procurement of various information and communication technology outlays consistent with the ISSP. By appropriation source, the amount under agency-specific budget is 889,236,000 and 13,695,000 under automatic appropriations for the RLIP. Of the total amount of 902,895,000 under the fiscal year 2026 National Expenditure Program, 275,183,000 or 30.5% is allotted for various goods and grants under socio-economic programs of the OVP, which will directly benefit Filipinos. This excludes the logistics and other costs which are necessary to implement the programs. This is presenting the comparative budget of the OVP from 2020 to 2025 under the GAA and 2026 under the NEP. So in 2020, the budget was 708,019,000. In 2021, the budget was 908,790,000. In 2022, the budget was 713,408,000. In 2023, the budget was 2,356,614,000. And in 2024, the budget was 1,885,462,000. In 2025, the budget was 744,146,000. And currently, for 2026, under the NEP, it's 902,895,000. So this is the chart, the graph of the comparative budget. Prior to fiscal year 2023, the OBP's budget ranged from 700 to 900 million, and it was only in fiscal year 2023 and 2024 that the budget exceeded 1 billion pesos, primarily due to increased allocations for financial assistance and subsidy to support the provision of medical and burial assistance. For fiscal year 2025, the OVP budget returned to its pre-2023 levels with 744,015,000 allocated for 2025. The same budget level is maintained under the proposed 2026 budget with adjustments for inflation, including the mandated salary increases. Since 2020, and even with higher budgets in 2023 and 2024, the OVP was able to maintain a high full-year budget utilization or obligation rate of at least 85.55% at end year. Presented is the comparison between the 2025 and 2026 budgets under GAA and under NEP. The net increase of 158,749,000 is attributable to the following: personal services increase of 21,313,000 due to increase in number of field positions from 149 to 162, and the corresponding standard salary increases across all items. MOOE items with a total increase of 174,521,000 is for supplies and materials expenses. This is the increase in the provision for disaster relief and the rice programs, the financial assistance and subsidies for the Magnegosyo Taday program, the professional services, provision for existing contract of service personnel, the rent and lease expenses, and there is a reduction of 28,085,000 for representation expenses to partially support the requirement for PS. For capital outlay, there is a decrease in the amount of 39,796,000 in fiscal year 2026. In fiscal year 2026 included a lower portion for ICT equipment. In addition, fiscal year 2025 included budget for purchase of 4 motor vehicles and other machinery and equipment. There's also an increase in 2.7 million in retirement and life insurance premiums, which is mandatory under the GSIS contributions. So these are the accomplishments of the Office of the Vice President. As the second highest office in the land, the OVP aims to promote the welfare of every Filipino in line with its vision to create lasting impact on the lives of every Filipino people through its socio-economic programs and services. Since 2022, the OVP has implemented the following programs: the Pagbabago, a million Learners and Trees campaign, the disaster response operations, relief for indigents and individuals in crisis and emergencies, or RICE, You Can Be VP, Libreng Sakay, Kalusugan Food Trucks and Pansarap, Magnegosyo Taday, and the medical and burial assistance. The OVP programs are implemented in the central office and through 10 satellite offices and 1 extension office, which continue to operate in key areas in Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao to provide Filipinos with immediate access to the services provided by the Office of the Vice President. In Luzon, we have the Cagayan Valley Satellite Office located in Kawayan City? Kawayan City, Isabela. In Pangasinan Satellite Office, we have the office located in Dagupan City. And for the Bicol Satellite Office, we have the office in Legazpi City. In Visayas, for the Cebu, Bohol, and Siquijor Satellite Office, it is located in Cebu City. And for Eastern Visayas Satellite Office, it is located in Tacloban City. And for the Panay and Negros Islands Satellite Office, it is located in Bacolod City. And in Mindanao, for the Caraga Satellite Office, it is located in Butuan City. In Southern Mindanao, it is located in Davao City. And for BARM, it is in Cotabato City. And for Western Mindanao, it is in Zamboanga City. For fiscal year 2024, the OVP had a target of 1,013,620 beneficiaries for all the programs, and a total of 1,780,079 individuals and groups were served. The high performance was achieved with the help of 470 strategic partnerships that were established with government agencies, civil society organizations, medical institutions, and other external stakeholders. Likewise, the OVP successfully implemented 99% of all planned projects and achieved a high average satisfaction rating of 98% for its services, including the requests acted upon within the standard processing time. Finally, the office completed a total of 490 engagements with partners and stakeholders. As to the financial targets in 2024, the OVP obligation rate was above the 85% mark. The OVP had 85.55% budget utilization rate with 1.783 billion amounts obligated, and with a disbursement rate of 86.03% or 1.53 billion disbursed. For fiscal year 2025, the OVP has continued the implementation of its flagship programs designed to provide the Filipino people with access to basic social services, with a target of 1,046,000 7,935 beneficiaries for the year, a total of 595,757 individuals, or 57% of the target, were served across all OVP programs and services during the semester. The OVP has also established 242 partnerships to support the development and implementation of its various initiatives. Notably, the OVP successfully implemented 100% of planned projects encompassing activities such as social preparation, technical assistance, and program implementation. Furthermore, the OVP achieved an average satisfaction rating of 97% for its services, exceeding the target of 90%. In addition, the office completed a total of 770 engagements with partners and stakeholders, further strengthening collaboration and support for its programs.